So basic things that we have learned so far is alteration of courses to starboard. Port is not to be done. Port is a red area. Starboard is a green area. That's how the lights are represented. Both the vessels can alter to their respective starboard sides. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So these are the very basics, fundamentals with which we'll move forward. That's how the rules were made. So that means the starboard side is always the side to where to you should go. So that in case you need to alter more, you can still go more to starboard. That is how it is. So starboard side is your green side. Now we're coming on to rule 18. And rule 18 is responsibilities between vessels. So now rule 18 actually is the one which created the differences between a PD vessel and a non-PD vessel, a hampered vessel and a non-hampered vessel, without actually saying so. It did not say it, but it implied in that. And that was the point of how I started my discussion with you in lecture number one. Is fishing vessel a power-driven vessel? Is ram a power-driven vessel? That's how I started my whole discussion with you. So it all boils down to rule 18 now. So we're coming on to 18. Before I move into 18, there's a short video I'll show on rule 18 to you. Then उसके बाद हम discussion करेंगे. So I'm showing you a video now. Let me know when you can see my screen. Let me know when you can see.
Hello and welcome to today's video where
Can you
we're
hear the
looking at
sound?
Rule 18, Responsibilities between Vessels.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Otherwise, we're going
Yes,
to be
sir.
looking at the rule itself and then applying it in a couple of different situations. So Rule 18 establishes a hierarchy of vessels, saying that a power-driven vessel needs to keep out of the way of a great big list of others, and then it will go down, putting them all in order. However, the very first sentence is a crucial one, except where rules 9, 10 and 13 otherwise require. 9 being narrow channels, 10 being traffic separation schemes, and 13 being overtaking vessels. So we already know Rule 13 says overtaking vessels always keep out of the way, so the hierarchy does not apply, and Rules 9 and 10 direct specific vessels to do specific things.
Okay. What this line means is except where 9, 10, and 13 otherwise require. This means that rule number 9, narrow channel, 10, TSS, and 13, overtaking. These three rules will override over rule 18. So 9, 10, and 13 are greater than rule 18. That's the meaning of this line. Is this okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
9, 10, and 13 are greater than rule 18. That's the meaning of this line.
So what is this hierarchy that it establishes? Well, it's kind of common sense really. It places not under command right at the top, along with restricted inability to manoeuvre. It doesn't actually differentiate between the two of these in the rule, but common sense would say not under command is unable to manoeuvre due to some exceptional circumstance, and restricted ability to manoeuvre is only unable due to the nature of her work. So if she has to, she can stop that work and get out of the way of a not under command. The next one down would be a fishing vessel, followed by a sailing vessel, followed by a power-driven vessel. Of course, a power-driven vessel having to keep out of everyone's way, as we saw in paragraph A. Paragraphs B and C go on to clarify that, saying sailing vessels need to keep out of the way of not under command, restricted ability to manoeuvre, and a fishing vessel. And paragraph C says fishing vessels keep out of the way of not under command and restricted in their ability to manoeuvre. So, once we've got this hierarchy, what does that actually look like? So for these, we're going to use this key with the passenger vessel being power-driven, the sailing boat, the fishing boat. CBD we're going to take as a large container ship, restricted in ability to manoeuvre we're going to take as a red tanker, and a not under command we're going to take as a green bulk carrier. I'll leave this key on the screen so we always know what's going on, and I'm just going to place a fleet of ships down here at anchor so it's easy for me to get hold of them. So let's take a look at the first situation. Here we've got the power-driven vessel approaching the sailing vessel. Of course, when it's two different vessels and risk of collision exists, Rule 18 will apply, which says power-driven vessel underway has to keep out of the way of, among other things, a sailing vessel. So all that's going to happen is it's going to alter around to port and pass clear astern of the sailing vessel. Now Rule 18 doesn't say what action you have to take, it just says that you need to keep out of the way of. So coming around to port in this situation is absolutely fine. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the
Okay, in the last case.
easy for me to get hold of them. So let's take a look at the first situation. Here we've got the power-driven vessel approaching the sailing vessel. Of course, when it's two different vessels and risk of collision exists, Rule 8.
Can the power-driven vessel alter course to starboard?
No, sir.
My question is, can PD vessel alter course to starboard?
No, sir, because you don't know the you don't know.
Imagine you are at sea and you see this vessel 5 miles on your port bow, sailing vessel. Don't we go to starboard?
We can go, sir.
We can
But
go.
if the risk of collision exists like this, we won't go.
Yes, sir, we can go.
What collision?
Does it make sense? Rule number 18 alpha says power-driven vessel has a duty to keep clear of a sailing vessel at all times. So if I put you on the sailing vessel, what will be your action?
Nothing, sir. We will maintain our
Maintain
course
course and speed.
You will maintain your course and speed. So the sailing vessel will just keep maintaining course and go like this, सीधा. The question is you have to keep clear. So can you alter course to port? उसने अभी बता दिया आपको. Yes. Can you alter course to starboard is my question to you.
No, sir. Yes, sir. It is not
Yes,
given
sir.
in rule number 8.
So rule
It
number
can.
18,
That's what
rule number 18 alpha
we can
says
take any
Yes.
action.
you can take any action. बिल्कुल ठीक. You can go to starboard, you can go to port. Is this okay with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Because it is your duty.
Yes.
You can alter to starboard, you can alter to port. You can do anything. You can reduce your speed. You can take any action. It is your duty as per 18 alpha to keep clear. Period. That's it. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So both the actions are permissible. Now the thing is, which one will you prefer?
Altering to port.
So, कहेंगे कि
यहाँ से पीछे से जाऊंगा ऐसे तो यू फील के उसको ये फीलिंग सेफ्टी की फीलिंग आएगी
Sir, it will depend.
जनरली सेलिंग वेसल जो है क्या स्पीड दिखाता है एनी गेसेस
8-10
So,
knots.
8 to 5.
Sir, 5 to 7 knots, 5 to 8 knots.
ओके 5 नॉट्स ले लेते हैं चलो 5 नॉट्स 8 नॉट्स चलो so what is your usual speed your vessel
14 to 15.
13 to 15.
13 to 15 let's say 13 knots है आपकी speed so you are 13 she is 5 which one would you prefer
Starboard alteration, sir.
starboard alteration अरे आप आराम से starboard alteration करके okay but can you alter to starboard and starboard or port the answer is yes you can alter to both the sides now the question is which one will you prefer वो वाली बात आ रही है so you can alter to starboard and pass ahead of her no issues because rule 15 does not apply here please get that very clear agreed
Yes, sir.
right
Yes,
so I
sir.
can go to starboard I can go to starboard
So all that's going to happen is it's going to alter around to port and pass clear astern of the sailing vessel. Now Rule 18 doesn't say what action you have to take, it just says that you need to keep out of the way of. So coming around to port in this situation is absolutely fine. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the sailing vessel approaching a vessel restricted in her ability to manoeuvre. As always, there's going to be risk of collision because the bearing is going to be constant.
okay who's going to take action
Sailing vessel.
Sailing vessel.
Sailing.
so sailing vessel will take action okay what action will she
She will alter
She will
course.
keep out of.
Yes, sir.
okay
Yes,
so
she
she can
can.
alter to starboard okay she can
Constant. And we know we're going to be keeping out of the way because it's Rule 18, so the sailing vessel has to keep out of the way of, among other things, a vessel restricted in ability to manoeuvre. Again, doesn't say what action she's got to take, she's just got to keep out of the way. So in this case, she's come down and she's heading south and keeping well clear of the vessel restricted in her ability to manoeuvre. Now the final one we're going to look at clarifies that very first sentence. We've got the power-driven vessel being overtaken by a vessel not under command.
Okay, so we got a power-driven vessel being overtaken by a vessel not under command. So green vessel is the not under command vessel. This is a power-driven vessel. Which vessel will keep clear of whom?
The power driven.
Not under command will keep clear of power driven.
Sir, because she is overtaking, Rule 13 applies here, so...
Correct, absolutely right. So please remember, except 9, 10 and 13 otherwise require. I just started my class with that. And rule number 13 says any vessel overtaking any other shall keep out of the way. Any vessel. So this is any vessel. So in this case, NUC will keep clear of the power-driven vessel because she's a faster vessel. That's why. Is this okay with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very popular question with surveyors. Very popular.
Now, of course, this is just to illustrate the rule. In reality, a not under command really shouldn't actually be moving, and if they are, they're unable to maneuver anyway. We're looking at the rule. So, the vessel overtaking still has to keep out of the way, so the not under command in this case will have to make an alteration of course to starboard and pass well clear of the power-driven vessel. Part D then goes on to say, any vessel other than not under command or restricted in ability to manoeuvre needs to avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by a draft. So this means fishing vessels, sailing vessels, and power-driven vessels all need to avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by a draft. Now exactly what we mean by this is clarified actually a little bit in Rule 8, which talks about action to avoid collision. But I'll just explain it back on the diagram. So in this diagram we've got a power-driven vessel approaching a vessel constrained by a draft, which is the container ship. Now we've seen that the power-driven vessel has to avoid impeding the safe passage of the constrained by a draft. The exact things that she has to do is clarified in Rule 8, but she's going to come round very early, allow the constrained by a draft to continue without having to deviate a course, and then she's going to come back and pass well clear astern. If we come back though to the start of this, and just let the power-driven vessel run on a little bit, Rule 8 actually says as soon as risk of collision exists, the constrained by a draft needs to comply with the rules as she would anyway, which means this would be a crossing situation still, and the constrained by a draft would have to keep out of the way of the power-driven vessel. Now, being constrained by a draft, she cannot really deviate from the course she is following, otherwise she wouldn't be constrained by a draft, so her only option is to slow right down and let the power-driven vessel pass clear ahead. Of course, the power-driven vessel is in the wrong here, they should have come round and avoided impeding the safe passage, but under the collision regulations, the CBD remains the give-way vessel and must give way still. The second part of Part D, of course, clarifies this a little bit, saying vessel constrained by a draft shall navigate with particular caution, having full regard to a special condition. Of course, that special condition being she cannot deviate from the course, so her only option is to slow right down. She's got to be able to do that in an instant. And the final bits of the rule. Seaplane on the water shall in general keep well clear of all other vessels. However, where risk of collision exists, she needs to comply with the rules of this part. Of course, she's a vessel propelled by machinery, so she would be a power-driven vessel. F says a winging ground craft taking off landing or in flight needs to keep well clear of all other vessels. This is kind of obvious because a winging ground craft would be travelling at incredible speed and other vessels wouldn't be able to react in time. However, when it's only operating on the water surface, needs to comply with the rules of this part as a power-driven vessel. Again, it's a vessel propelled by machinery, so that makes complete sense. Now, I'm just going to take us back to the diagram and explain a situation that was asked in a previous rule. What I've got here is a power-driven vessel proceeding ahead with a vessel restricted in her ability to manoeuvre out on the port side. Of course, you could say these are two power-driven vessels and it's a crossing situation, but because these vessels are a different status, the power-driven vessel has to keep out of the way. Now, you could think it might be a crossing situation, so the red vessel could come round. So, the most common sense thing would say the power-driven vessel should make a bold alteration of course to starboard, and she could parallel the course of the vessel restricted in ability to manoeuvre, or she could just pass well clear ahead. Either way, under Rule 18, the power-driven vessel needs to keep out of the way of a vessel restricted in her ability to manoeuvre. That brings us to the end of Rule 18. We've established the hierarchy of vessels, which you can see up on the screen at the moment. We've also seen how the bottom three vessels in that hierarchy need to avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by a draft, and we've seen how it all works together in the diagram, and how Rule 18 actually says what you need to do when two different vessels are approaching. Hopefully you've learnt something new in this video. If you have, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you've got any questions, just leave them on the comments below. And until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Okay, so let me come with the cases now. We had done case number 1 and case number 2, correct? We're coming on to case number 3. Again, good visibility, standard conditions, open sea, no other traffic, standard feature. All right. She's a fishing vessel on your starboard side. You are on a power-driven vessel. What will be your first action?
Series of consecutive variable
All right.
bearings.
So first point will always be series of consecutive visual compass bearing. Second point will always be to determine risk of collision. Third point will always be if risk of collision is yes. Fourth point will be my duty to keep clear as per rule number 18. So now you tell me your action. Alteration of course to
Starboard.
starboard. Anybody feel port?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I can alter to both the sides. I can go like this, I can go like this. How will you decide which side to go?
Fishing.
If she's moving,
We can go straight also.
can we go straight? That's the question.
If she is not moving, we can go straight. But if she's moving, then we cannot.
The fact that risk of collision exists, you've already said that. The fact that ROC exists, you can't say I'll go straight. You'll be wrong. So वो contrary हो जाएगा ना. दो चीजें आप उल्टी एक साथ बोल रहे हो. पहले तो कह रहे हो कि risk of collision exists, फिर आप ये भी कह रहे हो साथ में कि नहीं मैं सीधा जाऊंगा. तो दो contrary चीजें मत करो. So maintain course and speed is ruled out. Any of your situations. कभी भी ऐसे maintain course and speed मत करना please. Other than unless until you are a vessel which is obliged to maintain course. तब बात अलग है. Otherwise, maintaining course and speed is ruled out for you. Action तो लेना है, दोनों में से कोई भी. So, can you go to starboard? The answer is yes. Can you go to port? The answer is yes. ठीक है, is that okay? Okay. And decision to take starboard या port जाना is dependent on fishing vessel. If she's making way like this, I will alter course to starboard. If she's not making way, then I'll alter course to port. So same story will apply if this is a sailing vessel. Same story will apply if this is a NUC. And same story will apply if it's a RAM. Is that okay? And
Yes.
all of this is as per rule number 18. Duty to keep clear. Rule number 18. Alpha. Duty to keep clear. Duty to keep clear. ठीक है, is this okay? Case number 3.
Yes, sir.
All right. Case number 4. Case number 4. This is vessel Bravo. She is a towing vessel. And she is showing the white towing vessel lights. She is a towing vessel. She is showing the white towing vessel lights. Five miles off. हाँ, क्या एक्शन लेना चाहोगे? 1 2 3 आपने ले लिया, स्टैंडर्ड आपका, बेयरिंग्स, रिस्क ऑफ कोलिजन, ROC, yes.
Sir, should alter to port and keep clear from the vessel, towing vessel.
For which rule?
As per 18, AD vessel should keep clear of restricted in our ability to maneuver.
Okay. Anybody else in the class?
Or sir, again to monitor the speed and course and then take alteration accordingly.
Okay. And what will be your action?
So if the speed of the towing vessel is much less than the R speed, then we'll alter to starboard and keep clear from the towing vessel.
Okay. All right. Let me ask everybody in the class now today. Aaj to kya 3.
Yes, sir.
What will be your action?
I'll alter to starboard and pass clear.
Okay. As per which rule?
Firstly, as per rule 18, to keep clear, and after that, actually.
So rule 18 basically.
Rule 18, yes, sir.
Okay. Amandeep Singh, which rule would you like to apply?
Number 18 doesn't apply here.
Number 18 does not apply here. Why it does not apply?
It's not showing ram lights.
Because it's not showing ram lights. Interesting. All right. What will be your action?
Sir, I will maintain constant speed.
Right. Anand Mohan Jha, Ankit Verma.
Yes, sir.
Which rule would you like to apply?
Sir, rule number 18.
Subha Agarwal.
Phone mat kar.
Agarwal. Asad Jafri.
Rule number 18, I'll alter my course to starboard depending on the speed of the towing vessel.
18 starboard. Okay. Atma Singh.
Alter course to starboard as per rule 18.
Okay. Devansh Srivastav.
Sir, alter course to starboard as per rule 18.
Divya Kumar Saxena. Gautam Kumar Pandit.
Alter sir, port sir.
Alter port as per which rule?
18 sir.
Okay. Gurpinder Singh.
Sir.
What action would you like to take?
Sir, I will maintain my course and speed. I will not alter.
Harpreet Singh.
So I will determine the length of the tow, and if I can pass off the stern of the towing vessel, that will go for that.
Sir, correction sir. Sir, port sir, rule number 18 sir. Because this is the showing anchor light.
Anchor light. Anchor light कहाँ आ गई?
White showing no sir. Alter starboard sir.
Anchor light कहाँ से आ गई? Anchor light तो कहीं मैंने लिखा ही नहीं है. I've just written towing vessel showing white towing vessel lights. An anchor light anywhere. Okay, towing मैंने anchor तो कहीं लिखा नहीं है.
Anchor नहीं लिखा है.
हाँ, तो don't get confused unnecessarily like that. Gurpinder Singh, Harpreet Singh Vedi.
I will determine the length of the towing vessel, length of the tow, and if I can pass from the stern of the towing vessel, then I'll go ahead for that.
For which rule are you doing that?
Rule 18, sir.
Okay. Jasbir Singh.
Rule 18, sir. I will starboard.
Kashyap. Subha Agarwal.
Sir, I may alter my course to starboard.
For which rule?
Sir, rule 18.
Keshav Chaudhary.
Sir, alter course to starboard 18.
Rule 18. Okay. Krishna Upadhyay.
Sir.
Yeah. What will be your action?
Alter to starboard, please.
Rule 18. Modit Sood.
So we'll alter to starboard, sir. Rule 18.
Okay. Mukul Gaur.
Sir, I'll maintain my course and speed.
Okay. All right. Neeraj Joshi.
I will maintain my course and speed. Sir, towing vessel can also alter.
Towing vessel can also alter. All right. Prabjot Singh.
Yes, sir. I will determine the speed of towing vessel, and if speed is less, then we'll alter course to starboard side, as per rule number 18.
And if speed is more?
No, I will alter to starboard now.
Not there. Okay. This is one of the most common failing questions in MMD. Most common. और ये केस जो मैंने आपको दिखाया है, ये क्लासिक केस है जो हम सिंगापुर स्ट्रेट्स में एनकाउंटर करते हैं. सिंगापुर में आपने देखा होगा, बार्जेस आती हैं, क्रॉस कर रही होती हैं. यस और नो? राइट. जैसे ही हम रैफल्स पास करते हैं, वी आर ईस्ट बाउंड. ओके. हेडिंग ऑलमोस्ट 082 काइंड ऑफ हेडिंग 090 easterly course. Raffles ko we have just passed it on the port side. The moment we pass Raffles, Changi is about 3 to 4 points on the port bow. Singapore is there, right abeam of you. And you have these towing vessels which are pulling the barges, bringing mitti, the sand from Indonesia, starboard side, dumping it at Sentosa on the port side, then going back empty. Standard feature. Correct? Yes or no?
Correct, sir.
Yes. What is so special and unique about those barges? Sometimes they show red, white, red. Sometimes they don't show red, white, red. You have to try and understand that. हर एक कोई red, white, red नहीं बता रहा.
Length of the tow.
वाइट रेड का लेंथ ऑफ द टो से ताल्लुक है, रेड वाइट रेड का लेंथ से ताल्लुक नहीं है भाई. रेड वाइट रेड इज व्हाट is she is showing that she is a ram. Is this vessel a ram is the question. That's the question which I've been asking you. Some of you said she is not a ram.
Sir, it is not a ram.
She is not a ram. I want you to open up your books now, your ROR book. ROR book kholo. Open up your ROR book, and I am first reading rule number 3. सबसे पहले तो हम 3 को पढ़ते हैं क्योंकि हमें ये समझना है पूरा. 3 में रैम. सो रैम की डेफिनेशन में कहता है रैम इज द फॉलोइंग 6 वेसल्स. 1 engaged in laying, servicing, picking up navigational mark. Correct? Second, vessel engaged in dredging. Third, vessel engaged in replenishment or transferring people, provisions or cargo. 4, vessel engaged in launching recovery of aircraft. So basically an aircraft carrier. 5, mine clearance. 6, vessel engaged in towing operations such as severely restricts the towing vessel and her tow in their ability to deviate from the course. Okay? अब इस ये 6th वाले का क्या मतलब है हमें उसको समझना है. So let's get into now towing vessel rule. So towing vessel खोलो. Towing vessel का कौन सा रूल नंबर है? टोइंग का क्या रूल है? 24. So 24 पहले तो 24 खोलते हैं. 24 कहता है a PD vessel when towing shall exhibit instead of the lights prescribed in 23A. Okay, 23A क्या कहता है? Power driven vessel lights. 1 masthead light forward, 1 aft. Instead of the lights prescribed there, 2 masthead lights in a vertical line. When the length of the tow measured from the stern exceeds 200 meters, 3 such lights. These are masthead lights. Okay, these are not all-round lights. Okay, these are masthead lights, 2 or 3, then side lights, then stern light, then towing light. So ये तो रूल नंबर 23 और 24 में आ गया. अब चलते हैं रैम में. Let's go to rule on RAM, and I am on rule number 27. And 27 Charlie, I want you to read. PD vessel engaged in towing operations such as severely restricts the towing vessel and a tow in their ability to deviate from the course shall, in addition to the lights shapes prescribed in 24 alpha. 24 alpha क्या था? 2 white lights or 3 white lights, masthead. In addition to that lights prescribed will show the lights prescribed in B1 and B2. What is B1 and B2? Red, white, red. So जब towing vessel severely restricted होगा तब वो रैम होगा और तब वो रेड वाइट रेड दिखाएगा. Else वो खाली पीडी वेसल अंडरवे है. ये समझ में आया सबको क्या बोला मैंने अभी?
Yes, sir.
That means what I'm trying to say is कि जब मैं सिंगापुर स्ट्रेट्स पास करता हूं और ये बार्जेस इंडोनेशिया से सेंटोसा आ रही हैं, स्टारबर्ड टू पोर्ट, ओके, व्हेन आई एम ईस्ट बाउंड, तो लोडेड है, उसके बाद सैंड है, मिट्टी है, तो उस वक्त वो रेड वाइट रेड दिखाता है, साथ में टोइंग वेसल की लाइट्स दिखाता है. अब ये सेंटोसा में पोर्ट साइड पे आके डंप कर देता है अपनी सैंड. अब खाली जा रहा है वापस. अब जब ये खाली जा रहा है तब ये रेड वाइट रेड नहीं दिखाएगा. because now she's just a PD vessel underway. She is not severely restricted in her ability to deviate from the course. समझ में आया?
Yes.
Okay. So अब वापस आ जाते हैं इधर. Let's try to understand. So ये vessel क्या क्या लाइटें दिखाएगा? ये vessel दिखाएगा white, white, white. ये 3 हो गई. एक white और 4 हो गई. ये forward mast है, ये aft mast है. ये सब masthead lights हैं. And simultaneously एक ये green दिखाएगा. ये लाइट्स इसकी हैं. और यही वेसल अभी इस वक्त ये पीडी वेसल अंडरवे है, engaged in towing. That's it. So what is she? She's a powered in vessel engaged in towing. Which rule will apply? So she's operating as per rule number 23 and 24. So which rule will apply while taking this action? Rule 15, 16, 17. Crossing situation. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if
Yes,
if it's a crossing situation, what will be your action? Maintain course and speed. Rule
Sir, we
17.
will with the stand-on vessel.
Correct. So all the 4 or 5 guys in the class who said that I'll maintain my course and speed, that is the only action. So what is the action to take? 4th point. Maintain course and speed. Next, the surveyor will say distance reduces. Now what will you do?
Five short rapid blast.
As per which rule?
Rule 17.
No, 5 short and rapid blast is not as per 17.
Rule 34 delta.
34D. That is as per 34 delta. To attract her attention. She still does not take any action. Now what will you do? If you are in Singapore Straits, you'll reduce your speed. In open sea, you can go to starboard. On short blast, alter course to starboard. And pass well clear. This will be open sea. If you are in Singapore Straits, in restricted waters, or in coastal waters, you'll give reduced speed and you'll immediately inform VTIs. That's what you'll do. That's the first thing that you'll do after inform VTIs. And Singapore MPA is very, very tough on them. Huh? The VTIs is very strong. They'll come and seize their license. Sida. So that's why they'll always follow instructions. Because they know they are being monitored. So they know their rules very well. So we make what happens is we start shitting, we immediately go reduce speed. It's supposed to actually maintain course. Because we are not sure of our rules. That's why. Is this clear? Case number 4. Any doubts, anybody? Any doubts? Clear?
Clear.
Okay, great. I'll continue on this rule next time. I'll give the various distribution of the lights. वो मेरा बचा हुआ अभी है. I'll do that next time. the towing vessel lights. That is not so. The towing vessel rule is not over as yet. But this is a failing question in MMD. 80% of the guys go blank on this, just like what you did. So it's nothing new. So you have to be very, very careful, cautious when the question is asked to you, because हर question में कुछ ना कुछ एक depth होगी, तो वो check कर रहा है आपको. So इसलिए don't be blinded by it. Rule को अब जैसे हमने ये इस तरीके से पढ़ा है, अब चल रहा हमें पता नहीं था कि RAM में भी categories हैं, towing vessel की भी categories हैं, non-RAM and RAM. तो ऐसे करके बहुत सारी चीजें निकलेंगी जब हम ये रूल्स को और डेप्थ में पढ़ेंगे. बिलीव मी, देयर इज नो एंड टू इट. हर ये रूल्स ऐसे बने हुए हैं कि 1972 में बने थे, इमेजिन आज भी चल रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स कुछ जबरदस्त चीज है इन रूल्स में कि अभी भी कायम है. टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है. इन 1972 सेक्सटेंट चलता था, उसके बाद सैटनैव आया, बीच में डेकालोरैन भी आए, ओके, डीएफ आया, उसके बाद में जीपीएस आया सैटनैव के बाद, अब एक्डिस भी आ गया है. But rules कायम है. So that means there's something unique about these rules, that any amount of technology changes, the rules will absorb everything. That's the beauty of these rules. ये 72 में बने थे, उस वक्त किसी को एक्डिस का नामो निशान नहीं पता था. आज एक्डिस आ गया है, लेकिन रूल्स वही के वही चल रहे हैं. So something unique is about these rules. जिसने भी ये फ्रेम करे थे, बहुत सोच समझ के किए थे. Barring the minor changes here and there in the rules, the rule structure is intact. Fabulous thing. So one needs to appreciate it. No. Chalo.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.